Newly released U.S. Justice Department documents are shedding light on how Jeffrey Epstein tried to build a powerful web of influence across the Middle East. The files suggest that Epstein was not only cultivating connections in the United States and Europe, he was also working to form ties with top political leaders, royal family members, and business elites in the Gulf region and beyond. At the center of the latest fallout is Dubai port giant DP World. Its chief executive, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, resigned after his name appeared in the documents. Emails show the two men were in contact years ago. In one 2007 email, bin Sulayem told Epstein he had met a woman in New York whom Epstein had helped connect him with. He wrote that after months of attempts, they finally met, but said there was a misunderstanding about expectations. The correspondence shows that Epstein facilitated introductions to women while maintaining contact with influential figures. In another exchange, Epstein described bin Sulayem as trustworthy and disciplined. A photo included in the emails even shows them cooking together, appearing relaxed. There is no evidence in the files of criminal wrongdoing by bin Sulayem. However, the attention surrounding the documents was enough to raise concerns among major investors, leading to pressure and eventually his departure. But the documents go far beyond Dubai. They show Epstein attempting to insert himself into major geopolitical and financial events in the region. During the 2017 blockade of Qatar by Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, and Egypt, Epstein exchanged messages with Qatari contacts. He offered political advice, criticized officials, and suggested ways Doha could ease tensions, including improving ties with Israel to stay in favor with then U.S. President Donald Trump. In Saudi Arabia, Epstein discussed the massive Saudi Aramco initial public offering. He warned that going public could expose the kingdom to lawsuits and suggested alternative strategies, including selling a major stake to China instead of launching a traditional IPO. The documents also reference Egypt. Emails show that a family member connected to former President Hosni Mubarak reached out for assistance after Mubarak's fall from power. It is unclear whether Epstein acted on the request. What emerges from the files is a pattern. Epstein was positioning himself as an advisor, connector, and behind-the-scenes strategist. He sought access to decision-makers during moments of crisis and economic transformation. Whether his advice was ever taken remains uncertain, but the documents reveal a clear ambition to build a network of influence stretching deep into the Middle East's political and financial elite. And now, years later, that strategy is finally coming to public view.
Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Are you kidding?
What was the name of any of the underage minors that were the subject of the criminal charges to which you pled guilty?
I don't know.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution. Not underage prostitution, but prostitution.
Are all people that were, at the time you engaged in sexual activity with them, were underage and were brought by other underage minor females? Is that true?
I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't even understand the question.
Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Objection, harassing, argumentative.
Are you kidding?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
Move to strike.
No, that's the question.
I'd like to answer that question as well, like all your other questions today. However, I have to follow my attorney's advice. They have told me that I must invoke my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment right to not answer those questions today, or any questions relevant to this lawsuit.
What was the name of any of the underage minors that were the subject of the criminal charges to which you pled guilty?
I don't know.
So tell me about those charges. What was the allegations of those charges?
Form.
Solicitation of prostitution.
Okay.
Not underage prostitution, prostitution.
Were the victims or the prostitutes, as you would say, were they minors?
Form.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
Okay, so tell me what those cases were about. What happened?
I
Form
have no
again.
more. I can't tell you any more than that.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I just
I'm
told you.
going to object to
Sorry.
form. That's asked and answered.
Do you know what you pled guilty to? The facts.
Solicitation of prostitution.
I understand that's the charge. What were the underlying facts?
Sorry.
What did you do? Did you pull up in a car, talk to the person? Did they come over to your house? How'd you get them? Those kind of things. Tell the jury what were the underlying facts about the charge that you pled guilty to?
Form. Move to strike.
I don't know.
You don't know what you pled guilty to.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution. Oh, not underage prostitution, but prostitution.
And just so the jury understands, these three females that were the subject of the guilty pleas in state court were procured by your method of having underage minor females locate other underage minor females and bring them to your house. Isn't that correct?
Objection. Argumentative. Compound. Harassing. Assumes facts not in evidence.
You'll have to
And I move
repeat.
to strike.
I have to repeat the question.
Okay. Are all people that were, at the time you engaged in sexual activity with them, were underage and were brought by other underage minor females? Is that true?
Same objections incorporated. As well as the motion to strike.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't even understand the question.
Isn't it true that you used underage minor females to bring other underage minor females to your house for sex?
Asked and answered. Way earlier on.
Oh, well, he doesn't understand the question, so I'm going through the progression.
Not a problem.
But it is asked and answered.
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida's history by crafting malicious cases of a sexual nature against people like me and others in order to fleece, using bogus schemes, in the U.S. Attorney's words, and investment schemes. Unfortunately, though, I'd like to answer every one of your questions if I'm able. My attorneys have advised me I must assert my 6th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and 5th Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, at the moment, I cannot answer that question.